start today by asking you to visualize something with me.
Okay.
It's a really mundane image, but for most people, it triggers a very specific, a very visceral physical reaction. Picture yourself unlocking your phone, tapping on your banking app, and watching that little loading wheel spin for a second. And then pop, the numbers show up. Your current balance.
Right, the moment of truth.
Exactly. And what is the immediate sensation in your gut? Is it this warm, fuzzy feeling of safety and expansion?
Or is it that tight, cold knot of anxiety?
It's the knot. For the vast majority of people, even people who on paper are doing just fine, it's the knot. It's a little microdose of panic.
It is the knot. It's the 3 a.m. panic. It's the universal stressor. And what's fascinating, and I think what we're going to get into today, is that this stress response often has very little to do with the actual number on the screen. You can have someone with, $10 feeling totally at peace, and then someone with $10 million feeling this absolute terror that it's all going to evaporate tomorrow.
Exactly. And that is why today we are tackling that knot. But, and this is a huge disclaimer right up front, we are not doing it with a spreadsheet.
No.
We aren't talking about index funds. We're not talking about compound interest. We aren't talking about, cutting out avocado toast or any of that.
And we're definitely not talking about hustle culture.
Oh, God, no.
If you are looking for hot stock tips or, a lecture on why you shouldn't buy a latte, you are in the wrong place. We are going way, way deeper than the math.
Much deeper.
We are looking at the operating system beneath the math, the code that's running the whole program.
We are diving into a book that has been quietly passed around in these sort of underground circles for decades. It's a real cult classic from 1989 called The Trick to Money is Having Some by Stuart Wilde. And I have to say, just reading that title out loud, it feels like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
It really does.
It really does. It's smug, isn't it?
It's incredibly smug. The trick to money is having some. It sounds like a tautology. It sounds like someone saying, well, the trick to being an Olympic athlete is winning a gold medal.
Right. Thanks for that. Very helpful.
Well, thanks, Stuart. If I had some, I wouldn't need the trick. It feels like a catch-22. It feels like this closed loop that completely locks you out before you can even start.
And that reaction, that specific defensiveness, that slight irritation you're feeling right now is exactly where Stuart Wilde wants you.
Okay.
He's poking the bear. He's deliberately trying to disrupt your logical brain because his central argument is that your logical brain is exactly what's keeping you broke. He wants to irritate you out of your standard way of thinking.
So before we unravel this paradox, let's orient ourselves. Who is Stuart Wilde? Because, in the stack of notes and research we have here, he doesn't come across as your typical Wall Street guru.
Oh, not even close.
He's not wearing a suit on CNBC screaming about buy and sell orders.
Far from it. Stuart Wilde was a British writer, a metaphysician, and honestly, he was a bit of a stand-up comedian.
Really?
Yeah, he was active in the human potential movement of the 80s and 90s, but he was kind of the bad boy of that world.
The bad boy. I like that.
He drank wine, he smoked, he made fun of holy people all the time. He was incredibly witty, very, very blunt, and he refused to take the spiritual life too seriously.
He seems like the kind of guy who would laugh at you for stressing over your credit score. Not because it doesn't matter, but because the stress itself is the real problem.
100%. That's exactly. And that's crucial to understanding this book. He approaches money not as a serious, heavy burden, which is how 99% of the world treats it, but as a game.
A game.
A game. His mission statement here is simple, but it's radical. Money is not a math problem. It is a psychological and an energetic problem.
Okay.
If you fix the math, but you don't fix the energy, you'll just lose the money again. And we see this with lottery winners all the time, right?
Right. The statistics on lottery winners going broke within, 5 years are staggering. It's something like 70%.
Unbelievable. And it's because they changed the external reality without upgrading their internal reality. They still had the poverty consciousness, so the money literally couldn't stick to them. It just slid right off.
That is our roadmap for this deep dive then. We are going to deconstruct the trick. We're going to look at why most of us are, unknowingly repelling money, how to actually apply metaphysics to your wallet without being delusional about it.
That's a key part.
And how to shift from the state of wanting to a state of having.
And I want to speak directly to you, the listener, for a second here. It doesn't matter if you have $10 or 10 million in that account we visualized earlier. This whole conversation is about your relationship with that resource. If you have 10 million but you're terrified of losing it, you're poor. You are living in poverty consciousness, just with a bigger bank balance. But if you have $10 and you feel abundant and you trust your ability to generate value, you're on your way to wealth. The number is a lagging indicator.
Okay, so let's start with the bedrock of Wilde's philosophy, the central thesis. Money is energy. Now, I play the skeptic here often.
I do.
And I hear money is energy, and I immediately think of like New Age shops selling crystals. It sounds like a metaphor. It sounds like poetry. But Wilde implies it's more literal than that.
He does. He implies it's basically physics, and he uses the English language itself to prove his point. He was very specific about linguistics. Think about the words we use for finance. What do we call the money circulating in an economy?
Currency.
Currency, which comes from the Latin currere, meaning to run or to flow. It shares the same root as the word current, like a river current or an electrical current.
Okay, so the word itself implies movement.
Yeah.
That's built right in.
It implies necessary movement. Think about electricity for a second. Voltage is or potential energy, right? But for it to do anything, for it to become power, it has to move. It has to flow from a source to a ground.
Right.
If you stop the flow, you don't have stored power, you just have nothing. The lights go out, energy is defined by its motion.
The water analogy feels even easier to visualize, I think.
It is, right. Imagine a river. As long as the water is moving, it's alive, it's fresh, fish can live in it, you can drink from it. But what happens if you dam up that river completely? If you stop the flow because you want to keep all the water for yourself?
That stops flowing, and it becomes a swamp. It gets stagnant. Algae grows, mosquitoes breed, it becomes toxic.
Exactly. And Wilde argues that most people view money as a solid object. We think of it like gold bars or coins, things to be captured, put in a box and guarded.
We try to freeze the water.
We try to freeze the water. We think if I can just pile up enough rocks, I'll finally be safe. But money is a symbol of value exchange. It's an agreement between two people. I did this for you. Here's a token of that energy. Now go pass it on. When you try to hoard it out of fear, you are energetically damming the river. You are killing the current.
This is a really, really important distinction because I think most of us, myself included, are raised with the idea that the goal of the game is to accumulate the biggest pile.
But look at the happiest, most successful people. They aren't just sitting on a pile like a dragon in a cave.
Right.
They are circulating. They are investing. They are building new things. They are donating. They are spending on experiences. The energy is moving through them. They are a conduit, not a bucket.
So if money is energy, then it follows the laws of physics. Specifically, the path of least resistance.
Precisely. It flows where it is welcome and it flows away from where it is blocked. And nothing, absolutely nothing, blocks a current like the resistance of fear or desperation.
And this brings us right back to that infuriating title. The trick to money is having some. If money is energy and attracts the principle of resonance,
right,
then having money attracts more money.
This is the physics of resonance. It's a real thing. If you pluck a guitar string, other strings tuned to that same note will start to vibrate across the room. Wilde is saying. To attract wealth, you must vibrate at the frequency of already having it. You have to be the first string that gets plucked.
Which brings us to what you called the lack trap. This is the part of the reading that hit me hardest. And I think it's the hardest hurdle for people to get over. The idea that wanting something is actually a negative signal.
It's the great paradox of desire. In our culture, we are taught that if you want something bad enough, you'll get it. You just have to want it more. We glorify the hunger.
Right.
But Wilde says the exact opposite. He says wanting is an affirmation of I do not have.
Because you don't want what you already have.
Yeah.
I don't walk around all day saying, I really, really want a nose.
You don't.
I have a nose.
Yeah.
It's a non-issue.
Exactly. So when you walk around vibrating with this energy of, I need money, I want money, please God, give me money, what you are broadcasting to your subconscious, and if you want to get spiritual about it, to the universe, is a signal of absence.
You're just screaming shortage.
You are screaming shortage. And the universe, acting like a giant mirror or a search engine, just reflects that back to you. It gives you more circumstances that make you feel shortage.
That is genuinely terrifying. It means our desperation is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is the ultimate self-sabotage. It's why when you are desperate for a job, you can't get a single interview. But the moment you have a job and you're happy, headhunters are calling you every week.
Yes. I want to use an analogy here because the energy talk can get a little abstract sometimes. The notes mention dating. I think this is the perfect playground to understand this dynamic because everyone has felt this energy, even if they don't care about money.
It's the most relatable one. Yeah, walk us through the desperate dater.
Okay, so let's say you're single. You go on a first date. The person across from you is like physically sweating.
Oh no.
They're laughing way too hard at your mediocre jokes. They keep asking, "Are you having a good time? Is this okay?" They mention they haven't been on a date in 3 years.
Ooh.
They look at you with these wide, pleading puppy dog eyes that just scream, "Please, please be the one. I am so lonely. You are my only hope to fix my life."
I'm physically cringing just hearing you describe it. What's your gut reaction?
I want to escape. I'm texting my friend under the table. Call me in 5 minutes with a fake emergency. It's repelling.
But why? I mean, they're being nice, they're interested, they clearly like you. Why is it so repelling?
Because it feels like a demand. It feels like they are a vacuum trying to suck the life out of me to fill their own void. It's heavy. It's a burden.
It's heavy. That is the key phrase. Desperation is heavy, dense energy. Now flip the script. You meet someone who is relaxed, they're happy with their life, they have hobbies, they have friends, they enjoy your company, they are engaged, but they don't need you to complete them.
Right? If the date doesn't work out, they'll still have a great Saturday night. They're okay either way.
That's magnetic. That is pure confidence. I want to know why they are so happy. I want to be a part of that energy. Suddenly I'm chasing them.
Wilde says money has the exact same personality. Money runs away from the desperate person with the butterfly net. It's repelled by the vacuum of need, but it gravitates toward the person who is comfortable, relaxed, and having. Money wants to be where the party is. It doesn't want to be the thing that saves the party.
So the trick, the solution, is to trick yourself into that state of confidence before the money actually arrives. Is that it?
You have to become the person who has before the having manifest physically. You have to install the software of wealthy person before the hardware arrives.
But isn't that just delusion? I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, if I have $12 in the bank and rent is due tomorrow, how do I genuinely feel like I have plenty? How do I bridge that gap without just lying to myself? That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it forces us to look at the real foundation of all of this, which is self-worth. This is the psychological underbelly of Wilde's work. He draws a direct, unbroken line between net worth and self-worth.
This is a rough one because it can sound like victim blaming. "Oh, you're poor. It must be because you don't like yourself." That feels really harsh to someone who's working 3 jobs just to stay afloat.
It does sound harsh, and we have to be really careful with it. It's not about moral judgment. It's not saying rich people are better souls. Not at all. Some of the most miserable, wretched people on earth are billionaires.
Sure.
It's about permission. Wilde argues that we all have a subconscious thermostat setting for how much happiness and abundance we will allow ourselves to accept.
The upper limit problem? I've heard of this.
Exactly. If your self-worth is low, if you were told as a kid that we are the poor strugglers or that money is for greedy, evil people, then your subconscious equates being broke with being safe or being good.
Rich people are jerks. Filthy rich. We have all these idioms baked into the culture.
Filthy rich. Just think about that language for a second. We literally associate wealth with dirt. So if you consider yourself a clean, moral, good person, your subconscious will actively slap money out of your hand to keep you clean.
So you might get a windfall, a bonus, a tax refund, and immediately your car transmission just blows up.
Yep.
Or you lose your wallet. Or you get a surprise medical bill.
Or you lend it to a friend who, deep down will never ever pay you back. You find a way to get back to your thermostat setting of struggle because struggle feels like home. It feels like your identity. Wilde is saying we have to find a way to raise the thermostat. We have to believe we are worthy of support without struggle.
And Wilde uses humor to do this, right?
Yeah.
I noticed the book is constantly cracking jokes.
Yes, he hates seriousness. He says seriousness is a form of ego. It's a form of constriction. When you are grim and serious about your bills, you are tight. You are physically and energetically clenched.
A clenched fist can't receive anything?
Exactly. But laughter relaxes the muscles. It relaxes the mind. When you can laugh at your debt, even just for a second, you create a little opening in the dam. You let a little bit of flow through. It's about detachment.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics of that flow. We talked about hoarding versus flowing. But there is a nuance here between saving and hoarding. Wilde isn't telling us to go blow every paycheck, is he?
No, and this is a critical distinction that often gets missed when people first encounter these ideas. Saving is an act of self-love. It's building a foundation of security so you can be more relaxed. Hoarding is an act of terror. Hoarding is clutching money because you believe deep down that no more is ever coming.
So it's the energy behind the action. Two people could have the exact same amount in a savings account, but one feels, this is my freedom fund, and the other feels, this is my bunker against the coming apocalypse.
Always. The universe responds to the energy, not the action. And the most practical, everyday place this shows up is in paying bills.
Oh man, the ritual of pain.
The ritual of pain. Describe the typical bill-paying experience for most people. What was it like for you before you started doing this work?
I'd sit down, I'd open the envelope or the email, I'd see the number, my shoulders would tense up, I'd feel a physical drop in my stomach, then I'd feel a little angry. Why is electricity so expensive? They're ripping me off. This isn't funner. Then I'd click submit with this feeling of loss. I feel poorer. I feel drained, like something was taken from me.
Right. So you are stamping that money with the energy of resentment and loss as you send it out into the world. You are affirming, I hate parting with this because I don't have enough. Wilde suggests a radical flip.
Paying with gratitude.
It sounds so cliche, I know, but stick with the physics of it. When you pay the electric bill, what are you actually doing? You are completing a cycle. You use the energy.
Right, I did.
You flipped the switch and the lights came on. You kept your food cold. You watched TV. You charged your phone. You received massive, incredible value.
So the payment is just the thank you note for the service that was already provided.
It's the return current. It completes the circuit. If you can shift your mind to say, thank you for the heat that kept my family warm this month. Here is the money. I am so happy I have the ability to pay this. You change the entire transaction. You shift from victim of the bill to powerful participant in the economy.
I have the ability.
Yeah.
There's that having trick again.
Every single time you pay a bill, you are proving you have money. If you focus on the having, wow, look at me, I had $100 to send to the electric company, you reinforce the abundance pattern. You are training your brain to see resources, not deficits.
It seems like a small thing, but if you do that 10 or 15 times a month, that's 10 or 15 positive affirmations versus 10 or 15 negative ones. The cumulative effect must be huge.
And it stops the cortisol spike. We can't ignore the biology of this. When you stress over a bill, you pay a health tax. Your body degrades. You lose sleep. Your digestion shuts down. Wilde is very practical. Why pay twice? Pay the money, but don't pay with your peace of mind.
That's a great concept, the silent tax, the peace of mind tax.
It's the most expensive tax there is.
Okay, let's move to the part everyone really wants to know, the how-to, the practical stuff. Wilde calls this induction.
Induction, yeah, he's borrowing from physics again. In physics, electromagnetic induction is how you create a current in a wire by moving a magnet near it. You don't touch it, you induce the flow.
Okay.
Wilde says we need to induce the feeling of wealth to trick our subconscious into believing we are already rich.
So, fake it till you make it, but with better metaphysics.
Basically, but it has to be visceral. It has to be sensory. You can't just stand in the mirror and chant, I am rich while feeling poor. Your brain, your nervous system, it knows you're lying. You have to feel it in your body.
Okay, give us the examples. What does he tell us to actually do?
One of his most famous tips is what I call the one quality item rule. Let's say you have $50 of disposable income for the week. The poverty mind says, I need to get as much as possible for this $50.
Right, quantity over quality. Get the most bang for your buck.
So you go to the dollar store or the discount mart. You buy cheap snacks, cheap plastic trinkets, maybe a low-quality shirt that feels scratchy. You come home with 3 bags full of stuff. You feel like you scored.
But this stuff is all garbage.
Within a day, the snacks are gone, the plastic thing breaks, the shirt shrinks in the wash. You are now surrounded by low-quality, broken things. Your physical environment screams cheap. Your subconscious looks around and concludes, well, I guess we live in a cheap world.
So what does Wilde say to do instead?
Wilde says, take that same $50 and buy one thing, one incredible thing. One, go to a high-end restaurant and buy 1 glass of their best champagne. Or buy one a really, really heavy gold-plated pen. Or a single pair of socks made of the finest cashmere wool.
Just 1 pen for $50.
Just one. But when you write with that pen, what do you feel? You feel the weight of it. You feel the balance. You feel the quality. You feel established. For the 5 minutes you are using that pen, your sensory input is telling your brain, I am a person who owns quality. I am a person who holds gold. You are vibrating at the frequency of wealth.
It's about the density of the experience. It's overriding the constant low-grade, poor signal with one high-definition rich signal.
That's a great way to put it. It is. It's teaching your nervous system what wealth tastes like, what it smells like, what it feels like. You are acclimating yourself to the next level of your life before you're even there.
I remember the walking technique from the book, too. $100 bill trick.
Yes, this is a classic. He suggests carrying a crisp, clean $100 bill or whatever a significant but not terrifying amount is for you in your pocket at all times.
But you're not allowed to spend it. That's the key part.
You never spend it. It's a talisman. It's a tool. Think about the usual mental loop when you walk past a shop window, you see a nice jacket. Your brain instantly says, I can't afford that. I can't. You practice limitation all day long. It becomes your mantra.
But if the bill is in your pocket,
you touch the bill, you feel it, you know it's there. You look at the jacket and your thought process changes to, I could buy that. I have the money right here in my pocket. You choose not to because you're saving the bill for its purpose, but the ability is there. You switch the mantra from I can't to I could. That release of tension in your body is massive.
it's a safety blanket for your psyche.
It's an abundance anchor. You walk differently when you have cash in your pocket. You feel less fragile. You make better eye contact. And people and opportunities respond to that confidence.
And what about the environment? We talked about stagnant rivers earlier. That feels connected.
This is the part that usually gets people off the couch and into action. Wilde is obsessed with cleaning out clutter.
The clean your room to get rich strategy.
It sounds a bit like Jordan Peterson meets The Secret, doesn't it? But the energetic logic is perfectly sound. If your house is filled with clothes you haven't worn in 5 years, broken appliances you might fix someday, and stacks of old papers. What is that? That is stagnant energy. It's dead weight.
It's a visual representation of, I might need this old junk someday because I won't be able to afford new stuff.
Exactly. It's holding on to the past out of fear of the future. It's a scarcity museum you live in, Wilde says. Be ruthless, throw it out, give it away, create a vacuum.
The law of the vacuum.
Nature abhors a vacuum. If you create empty space in your closet, you are signaling to the universe, I am ready for something new to arrive. I trust that I can replace this. It forces the energy to move to fill that new space.
It's also just respecting yourself, isn't it? Living in a dump lowers your self-worth. It just does.
Right. If you treat yourself like royalty by keeping your space clean, orderly, maybe smelling good, your subconscious starts to believe, hey, maybe we are royalty. And it starts looking for the resources to maintain that new standard. It filters reality differently.
Now, we have to address the woo factor here. I mean, there's a spiritual dimension to all this. We can't just psychological hack our way through it entirely. Wilde talks a lot about trust.
He does. And ultimately, The Trick to Money is a book about faith. And not necessarily religious faith in a specific deity, but faith in life itself, faith in the machinery of the universe.
The idea that the universe is inherently abundant, not scarce.
Just look at nature. It's Wilde's favorite argument. Does the oak tree worry about next year's leaves? Does it hoard chlorophyll in the fall?
No, it just lets them go.
Does the sun ration its light? Sorry, guys, tight budget on photons today. I'm cutting back. No. Nature is profuse. It over-delivers. One apple has enough seeds inside it to create an entire orchard. Scarcity is a human invention.
We invented the fences. We invented the banks. We invented the concept of mine versus yours.
We created the game of not enough. Wilde invites us to step out of the ego's game of scarcity and reconnect with the spirit's reality of abundance. He believes we are supported. He believes that if you align with the flow, life wants to sustain you.
And this is where the concept of gratitude stops being just a polite habit and starts being a powerful mechanism.
Gratitude is the signal that you have already received. Think about it chronologically in our linear time. Usually you get a gift, then you say thank you.
Right. Cause and then effect.
So if you walk around saying thank you for the air you're breathing, for the coffee, for the sidewalk under your feet, you are hacking the timeline. You are telling the universe, I have already received. You are living in the after state. And the universe, the great mirror, rushes to fill in the physical reality to match that state you're broadcasting.
It's kind of like The Secret, but it feels deeper. It's not just visualizing a car. It's living in the feeling of having already enjoyed the drive.
Living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard would say. Wilde is very much in that lineage of teachers. She believes feeling is the language the universe speaks. It doesn't speak English, it speaks emotion.
But, and here's the giant but that we have to slam down on the table, we need a reality check.
We do. We absolutely do. Because I can hear a listener right now thinking, okay, great. The podcast said fake it till you make it, so I'm going to go induce wealth by leasing a Ferrari I can't afford.
Please do not do that.
Do not do that. That is not the trick. That is the trap.
Okay, so what is the crucial difference between induction and delusion?
It's the underlying emotion. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. If you go lease that Ferrari, and every single time you turn the key, you feel a pit of terror in your stomach about the monthly payment, are you vibrating at abundance?
No, you're vibrating at terror. You're vibrating at imposter syndrome.
Exactly. You have actually increased your resistance. You've made the knot in your stomach tighter, not looser. The goal is relaxation. The goal is comfort. If spending money makes you panic, don't spend it. Use the $100 bill trick instead. Use the clean closet trick. Those don't cost anything.
So the trick is always internal. The external action is just a prop to help create the internal feeling.
Correct. The external world is the lagging indicator. Your internal world is the leading indicator. Don't bankrupt your lagging indicator trying to fool your leading indicator.
That's a fantastic way to put it.
You have to start small. Buy the good coffee. Wear your best shirt on a random Tuesday. Build the muscle of havingness gently. Don't try to go in on day one and bench press 500 pounds.
There's another trap, too, that I see people fall into. The spiritual bypass. The idea that I'm just going to meditate and money will fall through the ceiling.
Right. Wilde creates a balance here. He says you need to be in the flow, but you also need to be in the marketplace. You can't be a hermit on a mountain. The money comes from other people.
You have to actually knock on doors.
You have to knock on doors, but, and this is the whole key, you knock on the door with confidence, not with desperation.
Right.
You knock on the door knowing you have value to offer, not begging for a crumb.
It goes right back to the dating analogy. You still have to go on the date. You can't just sit at home manifesting a partner. But when you go, you have to be the person who is fun to be around, not the person who needs to be saved.
Exactly. Action is still required. But it's inspired action, not frantic action. Frantic action pushes things away. Calm action draws things in.
I want to circle back to one concept we touched on in the notes but haven't fully unpacked yet. The idea of the marketplace as people.
Oh, this is huge. This is so important. We tend to think of the economy as this abstract, cold machine, like a weather system. Oh, the economy is bad right now.
But the economy is just us. It's just people.
It's just people. It's your neighbor. It's your boss. It's the guy at the deli. It's the woman buying shoes online. Money is just the energy passing between people.
So if you view people with suspicion, if you think everyone is out to get me, people are greedy, rich people are evil, you are shutting down the channels for money to even reach you.
You are closing the ports. If you think people are bad and money comes from people, then you will subconsciously isolate yourself to stay safe from them. Wilde says you have to love people. You have to wish them well. When you see someone driving a fancy car, don't envy them.
Envy is a block, a huge one.
Envy says they have it, and because they have it, I don't. It's a declaration of separation. It's a zero-sum game, Wilde says. Bless them. Mentally say, good for you. That looks fun. I'm so happy for you.
Right.
When you bless it, you tell your subconscious, this is good. I like this. This is a positive thing. Bring me some of that.
It's shifting from being a competitor to being a fan.
Be a fan of wealth wherever you see it. If you see a beautiful house, enjoy the beauty of it, appreciate the architecture. Don't throw a mental rock at it.
Okay, so let's synthesize this whole journey. We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have. It's a big topic.
We started with the pretty radical idea that money is energy, a current that needs to flow. And we realized that our logical approach of hoarding and worrying is actually damming up that river.
Then we looked at the central paradox. You can't need your way to wealth. You have to have your way there. You have to replace the signal of lack with the signal of abundance.
We talked about the silent sabotages, that low self-worth, the poverty thermostat setting, and the resentment we unknowingly attach to paying our bills.
And we gave the practical tools, the bill-paying gratitude ritual, the $100 bill in the pocket, the decluttering of your space, the small sensory indulgences that train your nervous system for wealth.
And finally, we put up the guardrails. Don't be delusional. Don't spend money out of anxiety. Build the internal feeling first. Always.
It really, really comes down to this. Your external bank account is a mirror. It is reflecting your internal state regarding your own value and your trust in life. If you don't like the reflection,
Don't try to shave the mirror.
don't shave the mirror. Change your face. Change your internal state.
I love that image. It's so futile, isn't it, to try and change the numbers without changing the mindset. It's like painting over mold on a wall.
It just comes back. It always comes back, maybe even stronger.
Okay, We always like to leave our listeners with a challenge, a provocation, something to do today.
I've got one.
Let's hear it.
I want you to play the game of having for just 1 hour today. That's it. Just 1 hour. Pretend. Walk through your house or your neighborhood with the absolute secret conviction that you are a multimillionaire who is just living this life for the fun of it.
Like an undercover boss.
Exactly. You are just blending in for a while. Look at the trees and think, I could buy that park if I wanted to. Look at your old car and think, I love this vintage beater. It keeps me humble and grounded. Shift the narrative. Feel the lack of pressure just for 1 hour. See how your breathing changes. See how your posture changes. That feeling. That is the magnetic frequency. Your only job is to memorize it.
That's a good one. And my challenge is the gratitude transaction. The very next time you spend money, whether it's buying a coffee or paying your rent online, pause. Just for 3 seconds. And feel genuine appreciation for what you are getting in return. Say thank you silently to the money for serving you. Send it off like a soldier on a mission, not a prisoner escaping.
Beautiful. Go do good work in the world.
And finally, a question to chew on, to take with you.
If money is an energy that responds directly to how you treat yourself, just look at your bank balance right now. What is that number telling you about how you treat you?
Oof.